Try 18-3. We're going to create a cost of goods manufactured, and then we'll create the cost of goods sold calculation. So before a manufacturer can create its income statement, it needs to calculate its cost of goods sold. And the calculation you can see over here. And before they can create their cost of goods sold calculation, they first need the cost of goods manufactured. So we're going to do both in this homework problem. So to do this problem, we need to understand the workflow for a manufacturer. And this is a screenshot of a slide from the PowerPoint. So on the bottom, we have the T account forms of this flow, which students understand usually better than the formulas, which are on top. So the products, the raw materials for the products, come into the raw materials inventory. We purchase, in this case, this is manufacturing guitars. We purchase wood, guitar strings, and glue, and these go in our inventory for raw materials. And then when we start a guitar, we take raw materials out, we lower the account, and it goes into the work in process inventory account, also known as WIP. And these direct materials costs are combined with direct labor costs and manufacturing overhead. And when a guitar is done, or a batch of guitars are done, we lower this account because they are no longer in process, they are finished, and it will increase the finished goods inventory account. And the finished goods inventory account are just our finished guitars that have not yet been sold. And by the way, the cost of a finished guitar is called cost of goods manufactured. And up on top, we have the formulas that are representing what's going on in the T account. For example, in the T account, we have beginning balance of raw materials inventory, and we have the same thing up here. You add that to the raw materials purchased and the freight in, which is just the shipping that might have been involved in getting the raw materials to us. You add those together, it gives us the direct materials available for use. So in this problem, we're first going to calculate the cost of goods manufactured, which is what this is. It's a schedule of cost of goods manufactured. Then once we get that, we will take that number and use it to finish the cost of goods sold. So this schedule of cost of goods manufactured is just taking this information here and putting it in a more formal format. And that schedule of cost of goods manufactured could be as detailed as this. But the one that we're going to be working on here will not break out the manufacturing overhead in such detail. But let me show this to you again. As opposed to some of the other homework problems, on this schedule of cost of goods manufactured, we will be breaking out this formula to calculate direct materials used. So our first step in calculating cost of goods manufactured is starting with beginning inventory of work in process. So we're going to click on this, and work in process at the beginning of January was 12. Now notice it says ABC Manufacturing Company has the following data for 2024, and these amounts are in millions. But we're going to leave off the zero. So we've got work in process at the beginning of the period, which was 12 million, copy and paste. And we're going to call that beginning work in process inventory. Then we need direct materials used. But notice direct materials used is right here. So they want us to show how we calculate the direct materials used. So let's consult our PowerPoint screenshot. And it says we need the beginning inventory of materials. So the beginning inventory of materials is right here, 5 million. Beginning direct materials. And then we add purchases and freight in. which is, looks like it's down here. Direct materials purchased, including freight in. Copy and paste to 25. And we're going to call that purchases of direct materials, including freight in. Again, freight in is just the shipping, the cost to get the items to you. And then, so what do you get when you take the beginning inventory plus purchases? Those are the direct materials available for use. So notice there's a line here, so we have to add those up. I'm a whiz at math. I can do that without a calculator. So that is direct materials available for use. Then we subtract our ending inventory of materials. Ending materials is right here, 7 million. And we're going to call that ending direct material. So we had 30 million available. At the end of the year, we had 7. So if we had 30 available and we ended up with 7, we must have used the difference, 23. And that gives us the direct materials use. So that's this number here. So we're going to plug it in to our work in process inventory account to create our schedule of cost of goods manufactured. So remember, we're trying to get this $7,000 figure. These numbers don't associate with this, so that we can then figure out our cost of goods sold. So let's consult this, see what's next. After direct materials, we have to add direct labor. So let's see what type of direct labor we have. Direct labor down here, we've got 36 million. So this is the cost, the wages of the people who actually work on building. What is it that we build? ABC manufacturing, that's pretty generic. Who knows what we build? So we're going to call that direct labor. After direct labor, we need our manufacturing overhead, which is 17. Copy and paste. Manufacturing overhead. So these are the costs associated with manufacturing our mystery product, but they can't be directly tied to each individual product. So when we get our direct materials, add our direct labor, add our manufacturing overhead, that gives us total manufacturing costs to account for. I guess that's right here. We don't even need to choose a label. Well, this is easy. So we're going to add 23 plus 36 plus 17. So we've got $76 million of manufacturing costs incurred during the year. So we had 76 million incurred for the year, plus the beginning work in process, the items that weren't finished from last period, and that gives us total manufacturing costs to account for. So I'm going to add 12 plus 76, and that gives us 88. So that gives us this number right here, total manufacturing costs to account for. Next, we're going to subtract our ending work in process. So our work in process ending is right here, 16. Copy and paste. Now I'm going to subtract this. Why? Because we had 88 million to account for. We ended up with only 16. Therefore, the amount transferred out, this amount here, must be the difference. So 88 minus 16 gives us 72 million. And then I have to label this ending work in process. We can check our answer. So we made some mystery products. Remember, this is just called ABC manufacturing. We don't know what we make. Let me close this for now. And our cost of goods manufactured is 72 million. So of all the products that we made this year and were transferred out, I should say the cost of the products finished and transferred out of work in process is 72 million. So that's the cost of our goods manufactured. So that's what the equivalent of this is. Next, we need to replicate this, finished goods. We need to figure out how much is the cost of the goods that we sold. So what we do is we take the beginning inventory of finished goods, so right here, beginning balance of finished goods. So let's open up our thing again. And we're looking for beginning finished goods right here. The beginning of the year was 8 million. Beginning finished goods inventory. All right. Then we're going to take our 72, copy that, paste it down here. Why? Because we're going to take our beginning inventory of finished goods, add it to the cost of the goods that were finished this period, and that gives us $80 million of goods available for sale. So we had $80 million of goods available for sale, and that's how much it cost us to make those. Next, we're going to subtract our ending inventory of finished goods. So right here, 6. Copy and paste that. Apparently I'm too lazy to type a 6. Ending finished goods inventory. All right. So we had 80 million of goods that were available for sale. We ended up with only 6 million unsold. Remember, finished goods, this finished goods account are goods that are finished but not yet sold. So we had 80 million available to sell. We ended up with only 6, therefore we must have sold the difference, 74. So our cost of goods sold is 74 million. So then when they go to create their income statement, they would take the 74 million and use it for their cost of goods sold calculation. Oops, I forgot something. So beginning, I forgot, this is cost of goods manufactured, which is right here on our formulas, and it came from the previous work in process account, which means it came from here, cost of goods manufactured. There we go. Excellent. And that's it.